Hi guys, it's Charla from That Girl Cooks Healthy. So today I'm going to show you how to make these completely meatless black eyed peas burgers. So these are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need some olive oil, some ground flaxseed, almond butter, some onion and garlic, tamarind paste, soy sauce, some grated sweet potato. I'm using the Caribbean sweet potato. That's why it's more of a white color, and I actually recommend using that one because it doesn't retain as much moisture as the orange one, but you can use the orange one if you cannot get hold of the Caribbean one. Some black-eyed peas, some oats. You can keep the oats in its whole form, or you can pulse them quite coarse. You don't want to ground them until they're really fine. You really want to keep them either whole or a very coarse texture. Some mushrooms. I also have some spices as well, so paprika, some thyme, black pepper, and pink salt, and parsley as well. So the first thing we need to do is to add our olive oil to a large frying pan and heat it up. And once we do that, then we're just going to add our onion and garlic, followed by the mushroom. So what we really need to do now is to saute all three of the ingredients until the mushrooms wilt and reduce in volume. So it's going to take about several minutes to get to that step. So once we do that, we can then move on to the next steps. So I've added my mushroom mixture to a food processor. So the next thing I need to do now is to add my black-eyed peas. I'm adding only half of the black-eyed peas to the food processor because we're going to add the rest of it during the second stages of when we're pulsing all the other ingredients. And then once I've added the black-eyed peas, I'm just going to add my spices, my tamarind paste, my soy sauce, the almond butter, and also the flaxseed as well. So now that I've added all of the ingredients, I'm just going to place the top of the unit on the food processor, and then I'm just going to pulse all of the ingredients until they're like a semi-smooth texture. So now I'm just going to remove the lid, and then I'm just going to check the texture of the veggie burger. So You don't want it to be extremely smooth. It needs to have some texture to it. So you should see that they should have some bits still, and that's pretty much the texture that we're going for. So now I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to add the black-eyed peas, the grated sweet potato, and I'm also going to add my oats. As I said before, you can leave the oats whole or you can have them a very coarse texture. So now I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients. I'm going to add the black-eyed peas, the grated sweet potato, and I'm also going to add my oats. As I said before, you can leave the oats whole or you can have them a very coarse texture. So now that I've added those ingredients, I'm just going to put the lid of the food processor on, and then I'm just going to pulse it a few times. So you don't want to leave it running, you just want to stop and start until you get more of a broken down chunky texture is what you're after. So you can see I'm just doing it stop start a few times, and that's pretty much the texture that we're going for. It's a semi-solid with a few chunky bits is the best way to describe it. So I've transferred the mixture into another bowl, and what I'm going to do now is prepare my hand using some olive oil. So I do this because it makes it a lot easier when it comes to shaping the burgers, because it means that the burger mixture is not going to be really sticky on your hands. So this is optional, but this is something I've started to do when I'm making veggie burgers. So what I'm doing now is I'm using a measuring cup and I'm scooping up I believe I'm using the half measuring cup, but you can use the 3/3, the 1/3, sorry, not 3/3, 1/3 or half measuring cup to scoop up some of the mixture. And then what I'm doing now is I'm scooping it out of the measuring cup, and then I'm just going to form it with my hands. As you can see, it's a lot easier when you have your hands oiled. And you're also going to notice as well when you use a measuring cup that they're all going to be the same size. So I'm going to show you about 2 of them on camera, and then I'm going to leave them to chill. I believe I didn't record, well, I recorded this step, but it's not showing. I don't know why it didn't come up. So what I did after this is basically I put them on a plate with parchment paper, and then I let them chill for up to an hour. It's very important that you do this because this is going to help to prevent them from falling apart. So you want to leave them to chill for about an hour before you bake them. So this is what the burgers look like after I've chilled them. So I'm just going to remove the plastic wrap, and then I'm just going to transfer them onto a baking tray to bake. So I've lined a baking tray with parchment paper, and I'm just going to get some olive oil and lightly coat the parchment paper before adding the burgers to the lightly oiled parchment paper. So once I've added the burgers to the tray, I'm just going to lightly coat the tops of them with olive oil. You don't want to add too much oil, or that is another reason why the burgers will fall apart. And I also recommend that you bake them as well, because they tend to hold up better when you bake them instead of frying them. So this is what the burgers look like after they've been baked in the oven. They're nice and golden, and most importantly, they're completely firm. So this is how you make your black-eyed peas burgers. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and most importantly, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video.